Did you know that Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, was once fired from his own company? Yes, the same man who gave us the iPhone, iPad, and Mac was once considered a failure. This is the untold story of how Steve Jobs turned rejection, humiliation, and failure into the foundation of one of the greatest companies in history. Stay with me, because this journey is not just about technology. It's about resilience, vision, and the power of never giving up. Steve Jobs' life was never easy. He was adopted as a child, and from the very beginning, he felt different. Jobs dropped out of college because he couldn't afford it. People thought he was wasting his life. When he co-founded Apple in his garage at just 21 years old, things looked promising. But success didn't last long. By the age of 30, Jobs faced the most humiliating failure of his life. He was fired from Apple, the very company he created. Imagine building your dream only to be thrown out by the very people you trusted. Friends turned against him, investors doubted him, and the media called him finished. For Jobs, it was a crushing blow. He had lost his company, his reputation, and even his confidence. At this stage, Steve Jobs felt like all doors were closed. He once admitted, "It was devastating. I even thought about leaving Silicon Valley forever." Can you imagine? The man who would one day change the world with iPhones was on the verge of walking away forever. This was the darkest chapter of his life. But instead of giving up, Steve Jobs decided to start again from zero. He built a new company called Next and also bought a small animation studio, which would later become Pixar. Pixar went on to create Toy Story, the world's first fully computer-animated movie, and it became a massive success. Meanwhile, Next developed advanced computer technology that caught the attention of Apple. And then fate turned. In 1997, Apple, the company that once fired him, was struggling to survive. Guess what? They asked Steve Jobs to come back. When Jobs returned, he transformed Apple from near bankruptcy into the world's most valuable company. He introduced revolutionary products, the iPod, iPhone, and iPad, devices that redefined entire industries. Steve Jobs' journey proves one powerful truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the foundation of it. If Jobs had given up after being fired, there would be no iPhones in our pockets today. His story reminds us that rejection, betrayal, and setbacks are not the end. They are the beginning of something greater. So, no matter how many times life knocks you down, remember Steve Jobs' words. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. This was the untold story of Steve Jobs, the man who turned failure into fortune.